I'm from northern Idaho, up in a small town called Sandpoint. The majority of our riding is tree riding. It's tight and technical. We always have a rough trail to get in there, so you definitely have to have a well-rounded snow machine to have a good time out on the snow. Our main goal riding is to find nasty, steep ravines, treed up areas, try to get stuck, try to blast out of the big hills, pretty much just go find new zones. The Yamaha is definitely the king of speed in the mountain class. It has enough track speed to keep you on top of the deep snow, but if you get it stuck, you better have a buddy around. It definitely will blast out of any hill you point it up. Kind of lacks in the agility area just because it is big and heavy, but it definitely makes up in the horsepower division. Oh man, I was able to point this thing up some big hills, and sometimes there's some big wind lips and cornices at the top of the mountains, and the two-stroke machines, they kind of run out of steam at the top of the hill, and this thing just keeps pulling. It's a freight train, so this thing will blast out of those hills. For years, guys have always gotten custom suspension. So you buy a snowmobile, you take your shocks off, get custom valving, or even aftermarket shocks. Now, Fox has supplied Yamaha and Arctic Cat with a QS3 that has 3 options. First option is for trail riding. It's a very smooth ride. Option number 2 is off-trail riding, so you have better flotation in deep snow, but you're able to still bring the skis up and wheelie. And option number 3 is full lockout, so it keeps the skis glued to the snow so you can blast out of big hills and keep your track speed up. But if you hit an unsuspected bump or land off of a big jump, it has a bypass, so it'll blow through the valve stack and you'll still get shock strokes, so you won't bend your rails or anything. For years, guys have always wanted a shock that will do everything, and I really think Fox has nailed it with this new QS3. I think the consumer really has to be honest with themselves. They have to really evaluate how much trail they're riding versus off-trail riding, whether they're in deep powder all the time. A person who is up in British Columbia might want a 175 with a 3-inch paddle, but someone like me, where I'm from, we have wet, heavier snow most of the time, so I would prefer a 155 with maybe a 2.5-inch paddle. Once again, there's a lot of options to choose from nowadays, so you really just have to think about what type of riding you're doing.